YouTube friends, and welcome back to my little cabin. We're going to do another batch of off-grid quilting. Today we're going to make a 9-inch log cabin block. I've brought all my stuff with me. I've got my hand crank machine, and we're going to get going. Down in the description box, I will have a link where you can go to the website and print out all the measurements that I'm using today for the block that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put a little picture up here, and I'm working on the log cabins that are going to go right along with these Emily Star blocks. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is how I have pre-cut all of my strips, and I used this old silverware organizer tray to actually put them all in, and I think it's going to work out really nicely. So I've just pre-cut all my strips and laid them in here, and that's going to help things go a lot quicker. Okay, so what I have here are my 3-inch centers and my 1 1/4 by 3-inch light rectangles. I've got them faces together. I've aligned the edges, and I'm going to place these right under the edge of my 1/4-inch presser foot. Now this is a little foot, and this will work perfectly on this vintage machine. It's a low shank, and I'm just going to go all the way down the edge. And I am actually going to chain piece several of these. That means I am just going to keep stacking them up, lining the edges. I'm not going to trim my threads in between. And I'm just going to do a whole bunch like this, and then we're going to go talk about the iron. Well, friends, I had so many questions on my last video about how I managed to iron, so I thought I would show you my sadiron. I keep it in, today we have a fire, sometimes I keep it on the wood stove, whichever it is, that's what you're going to do, and it's one of these. Now it's hot. They're cast iron. I think you can find them around at thrift stores and things like that. They do work. They're heavy and they're hot. You want to be careful. I have a little trivet here that I set it on so I don't, light my stuff on fire. Here's the thing with these. It's kind of like a cast iron skillet. You have to do some caretaking of it, or else it'll get rusty and icky and could rub icky stuff off on your fabric. Now, this is what I have started to do that seems to work really well. You take my iron. I like to use something like coconut oil or Crisco, something like that that's not sticky or stinky. I think the coconut oil works really well. And I've just got some on a little t-shirt rag here. You have to remember to grab it with a hot thing and just rub it on there, kind of like hot when you're seasoning a skillet. And you have to do that periodically, especially since I don't use it that often. Buff it off. Once you get a good seasoning on it, it's nice. I'm going to set it there, and I'm going to take my rag here, and I'm just going to iron off and make sure nothing yucky comes off, and also get any of that oily residue off. You could set it back in the fire for a bit to kind of bake that on, but it's good. I just used it not long ago, so it's hot and ready. So I've got my pieces. I sewed a whole bunch of these, the 3-inch centers with one of the logs, and I'm just going to place it. And you kind of have to, you do press with it, just like and then just let it sit there for a minute, and that weight, the weight and the heat just smash it down. Now look how flat that is. Something that really helps also is a little bit of spray starch, but I didn't bring mine. I need to get a can to leave up here, and those are as flat as can be. That's all there is to it. So I've ironed all my pieces, and now I have my next stack of logs here, and I'm going to just start adding those to my first batch, just like this, lining up those edges and sewing my 1/4 inch seam. And I'm just going to go ahead and sew this stack just like I did the others. Several of you have asked, do we have a generator? What do we do up here? No, we don't have a generator. I don't like all of the noise of one. So we have a lot of different lighting options, and I'll put in a picture here of the Aladdin lamp that I have hanging above me. It puts out a pretty bright light, and we've also got some solar, so we have a couple of light bulbs for that. So hopefully that answers that question. Good morning, friends. Thanks for joining me at my little cabin where we made log cabins at the log cabin. I hope it inspired you to dig into your stash, cut some of your fabric, and make some fun log cabin blocks. Remember, if you want the sizes for this, down in the description box, there's a link that'll take you right to my website where you can print out a simple instruction sheet. It's rainy this morning. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's lovely. I hope everyone has a great day. Go make something beautiful, and I'll see you again soon.